Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elias here with Weekly Wrestling Heat. We are back with another episode. What's up, guys?
Didn't it sound like it was like one of those times where we just needed like air horns everywhere? Just right? Am I crazy?
No, you're right. I think it's one of those days. It's pre-WrestleMania week. We are here with another episode. We're getting ready for WrestleMania. Oh man, I'm excited.
I am very excited. This is the best time of the year. No, it's not. The best time of the year is definitely more akin to when WrestleMania is actually here. That's the best time of the year.
Yes.
I prefer Rumble. I like Rumble.
Oh, like I prefer the match of the Rumble more, but I prefer the pay-per-view of WrestleMania more usually. That makes sense.
I prefer WrestleMania a little bit more than anything else. I like WrestleMania season. You see a lot of cool things, especially during the week of and that weekend before the actual WrestleMania. I know a couple of indie shows going on that have some pretty nice matches happening this weekend or next weekend. I mean,
Yeah, I'm pretty
so
pissed I'm not in Florida because they've got a couple of matches that were announced that I really wish I was in person to see.
like which ones?
Diana Perajo has this all-female wrestling event where she's in the main event against who's she in the main?
Roxy.
Against Roxy, yeah, and then there's just a whole
She
bunch.
is only. Here's one thing about Roxy. Roxy is 19 years old. 19, 20 years old. And she is literally considered one of the rising stars of the wrestling industry right now. At 18, she won the reality of wrestling diamonds title. So
Oh wow!
she was the youngest champion. She was the youngest champion for Booker T's promotion. Um,
So she's pretty good.
yeah, she's pretty badass. I've seen some of her matches in reality wrestling. It's pretty cool.
Does she wrestle? Does she wrestle for WWE?
Not yet. Actually, Diana
What about
Perazo,
AEW?
she has it.
Who is she then? I don't even know who this person is. Stop talking about your indie darlings.
She's actually one of the ones that one of the few wrestlers that Diana Perazo once signed to Impact for the Knockouts.
I got a question for you about Impact Wrestling a little bit.
What's that?
Their females have never been very good, correct? Like, am I crazy for saying that? Like,
No, you're on
No.
the opposite end of the spectrum. It's everyone wanting to be like their women's division.
since when? When did that become vogue? Are you talking like within the last like 2-3 years, or like
No, this has been so when it comes down to Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
this
you guys
is like
might have a little bit of a like nostalgia glasses going on. Like,
no.
you're talking about like the beautiful people and stuff like that.
Yeah, like before it got taken over by Dixie Carter, like before that era.
So you're
the
not
Impact
talking about the
Women's-
beautiful people then, right?
I think
like,
that's
Well, they were
only-
still the beautiful people.
so because I watched during the beautiful people run, and that was not good female wrestling at that time. That was very diva-esque. That was very tits and ass. That was all that stuff at that time.
I mean, Madison Rain could go with any of them. You saw her at the Mae Young Classic.
Well, yes, she can now, but like I'm curious because like I look at each federation with like specialties and stuff like that. Obviously, a little bit. I think as most people do, and like I think WWE is the place to be if you're a female wrestler. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Now it is, I would say.
So okay, so
you think Impact was that at one time?
Yeah, no. At one point, yes, because they were the first to do hardcore matches with women before WWE picked up on the women's evolution. They were like doing cage matches. They were doing all the matches gimmick matches that are being done now for women. So the women were putting in the work and Impact before the Dixie era happened. Once the Dixie era happened, that's when everything just kind of subdued a little bit, and they focused on that.
And then yeah, you had girls like Mickey, Gail Kim, Tara Terrell. They all went there because WWE didn't know what to do with them.
Well, I would be curious to look up some classic female TNA Impact or Owl Wrestling.
Did you ever watch any of Victoria's matches in Impact?
No. You know, I was never a huge Victoria fan. Like, I mean, I'm not like saying anything negative at all. Just she came into WWE after I had already kind of stopped watching as often as I used to and stuff like that. And then like I never like followed her like past that or anything like that, obviously. So let's get into this. What news items do you guys want to talk about, if of any? Because I want to get into AEW and I want to get into NXT. I have some things to say about both, and I know you guys do. And I think we might even want to talk about future stuff.
I think the only big news is WWE officially announced that they're moving to Tuesdays.
They lost the war. They lost the war.
There's one more week, Matt, and they're only within 50,000 in the ratings. Only within 50,000. One more week. I'm just saying, only within 50,000. You got your big son. Matt, what would your thing be if they win the next week and then go to Tuesday?
I like that me just saying they lost the war is like triggering both of you so bad. And Elias is doing a good job of like hiding it because he knows exactly what I'm doing. But Moise, you're just like feeding into exactly what I'm doing. But like I see your face, Elias. I know that you're just like holding in what you're feeling right now. Yeah, I know it.
He hates you more than Melcher right now. But
what does that mean?
Like if you and Melcher.
All right. Anyways, NXT is moving to Tuesdays.
Oh my god! Yes, NXT is moving to Tuesdays. I actually really like this move going to Tuesday. I think it might actually entice me to watch it a little bit more. Even like, not that I wasn't like interested in watching it before, but I like that like it's getting its own date. That makes it feel special to what it's doing. And I'm not saying this like I legitimately do not think there was a war, because wars are not the same as they used to be. It's just going to always be that way just because, and that's it. But
yeah,
I like that I have Tuesdays to watch NXT. I like that I have Wednesdays to watch AEW. I like, if I cared about Impact, I have Thursdays to watch Impact. Imagine like, we loved wrestling in the 90s when we had two companies, WCW and WWF at the time, and ECW for the hardcore fans that got the pay-per-views, or TNT TNT at 11 o'clock at night and stuff like that. Could you imagine if this was what the 90s was? Could you imagine if you had wrestling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and every day was different? That would be amazing.
That would have been interesting.
It would have been.
So here's the interesting fact. I think it helps both companies out in the long run, because both companies were not hitting 1 million viewers. So this will actually help both companies grow.
It should.
I think is a good. It should, but we'll see.
Exactly.
This is going to be a real test for both companies to see if they could draw in the casual viewer, not the hardcore viewer. Because now you have NXT on Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday. You should see both of them hit over 1 million, hopefully.
I don't think so. I don't even think a little bit.
I think Raw's going to be out of the millions in a couple of weeks.
What does Raw hit on average?
Raw's averaging 1.7 right now.
I think that we're putting a little bit too much like opinion on what 1 million means, because like 1 million doesn't mean the same thing that it used to mean.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So I don't think either show has to hit 1 million to be successful. I think both shows are actually very successful, especially in the time of the pandemic. I think that they are both very successful, and I think that the growth that we see, I don't know. It's going to be interesting if the numbers go far up or if they stay consistent. I think consistency is far more important than seeing a giant growth and then another downtick, in my opinion. Like,
well, it's also
matters.
Yeah, and it's also because NXT has been on the WWE network for years, but it's the first time they're on actual cable network where diehard fans are not the only people watching.
Only people.
So now that you have NXT following Raw on USA at the same time slot, you'll see if the brand continues to grow. And like it happened, it's the same thing that happened with Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact. They all have to gain that audience. So you're not going to get 3 million people in one hit or 1 million people in one hit. So it's more about the growth for them. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with both of these brands getting their own time slot on separate days without being on top of each other. And we'll see what happens. I think that's the only thing major that I think has been going on, unless Moise has something else.
News related?
No, I want to dive into the episodes.
Yeah, I do too.
I do want to actually go on a quick rant about Monday. Why the hell did they break up the Hurt Business already?
I heard. I did not watch it, but I heard about that, and I didn't get like the details. But I thought like if they're doing that, like they're setting up Bobby to lose this match and to put him into a mid-card feud directly after.
Well, I read that. I read a couple of things on a couple of websites. I also read that this is the beginning of the Bobby face turn for that Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam.
Why does he need to lose his Hurt Business to his manager?
He's still with MVP. He lost two heels of the group.
Who were
Benjamin?
Who were they?
Cedric and Shelton.
Shelton needs to either turn back babyface or retire.
Well, I think Shelton could play a part, or like you could do some interesting things in the whole Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar thing with him.
Ahmed, thank you so much for joining us and watching us here on Weekly Wrestling Heat. If you did not know, we're here every single Thursday, but we're going to be here a whole lot more in the coming times to talk about WrestleMania stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, though. We appreciate it. If you have not already, make sure to smack that like button down a little bit and also share the video as well. If you have any wrestling groups that you're part of, share us in those wrestling groups and put something spicy. Like one of the guys doesn't have a shirt on. Now, you don't have to tell him that you're lying, but it's April Fool's, so you're allowed to stretch the truth a little bit, if you know what I'm talking about. So
I could do an episode shirtless.
We don't actually want that. I'm just trying to like entice people, clickbait, I mean, I'm using you, Moise. I'm using you.
But yeah, no, I think Shelton Benjamin, like when they first announced the breakup, him and Bobby went at it and they had a solid match. It was a solid, like 8 to 10 minute match. So they're letting Benjamin get his stuff in. I think if they keep Benjamin and Alexander as a team, it's nothing but good for Alexander because he's coming into his own right now.
I don't watch enough of this. What is it? World Wrestling Entertainment, Entertainment. I don't watch enough of that, so I can't comment.
Well, let's talk about something you do watch. Do you want to start with AEW or you want to start with? Actually, let's just do like we did last week. We'll just jump from segment to segment. Yeah. Matt, are you excited about April 13th?
April 13th.
That's the first Tuesday. NXT is on its own, and they already announced a segment.
What did they announce? I didn't see this.
Frankie is coming.
Frankie?
Frankie was the name, right, Elias?
Yeah, Frankie's the name.
Who's Frankie? Who's Frankie?
It's Taya's dog.
Titus's dog?
Taya Valkyrie's
dog.
I don't know what you're talking about, Moise. I feel like you just had a seizure, and I don't know if you can see straight. Hello, how are you, Moise?
Did you watch? Did you actually?
I watched NXT.
There was a promo of a dog running to the performance center.
I definitely skipped those promos because I watch a 45-minute heavy cut of NXT usually that includes like matches and like important segments. But for whatever reason, Frankie did not make the cut. And I don't care about no damn dog showing up on Tuesdays on NXT.
So they're teasing. They're actually teasing. They're actually teasing Taya Valkyrie's debut.
And she changed her name on Instagram to. 1 second, I'll pull it up for you.
Okay, so while we go there, let's talk about the positives and negatives about NXT. Here's what I want to say about NXT, though I thought it was a very good show
Kira
to
Foster.
get us.
Kira Foster.
I don't know who these people are, Moise. Just
That's
know what?
Let's
results. NXT this week was a very good show. It was a very cut and dry show that didn't have anything in line of like being like surprising or shocking moments, in my opinion. But it sold a couple of things very well, and I think it sold the Io Shirai and Raquel Rodriguez. I thought it sold their feud, their hate, their match so well for TakeOver Stand and Deliver. I thought that was the main focus of that show, even though the Prime Target segment that they did to sell us on O'Reilly and Cole was a very well done, very good style, right? It wasn't anything like groundbreaking, but it was different and it felt unique, right? It was good.
It hyped up. Yeah, it hyped up the match, and it did a good job. Yeah. So it made it the people that weren't actually interested or not invested is the better word. That were not invested in the match after this. You got more invested in it because you saw the history. You saw how everything turned out to be what it turned out to be. So I think it was a great way to continue to hype up the match and build the match. The same thing with Cross and Finn Balor. The little vignettes that they did on both of them, I thought that was well done to hype up the match as well.
Tommaso and Walter as well.
Yeah,
that one too.
Which, let's be clear when we say what we're talking about right now, because honestly, like WWE is a multi-billion-dollar company. They've done promos well for a very long time. Like, it almost shouldn't be stated that these promos are like good promos, because if they can't do production well on their promos, that would be bad. Like, that would be bad, right? Like, so the promos are good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're doing a good job on selling the feuds. The thing about the Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez build-up, though, that I liked is that they showed it consistently throughout the entire program, so it felt like a thread. And then it ended with a big brawl out, and it ended with Io taking to the sky, the genius of the sky, hitting that huge splash on top of all those women and stuff. And it ended the night with this like feeling of like it came full circle in what it was that it was doing. And I think that was really important too.
I think my favorite part of that was when Raquel put Io through the wall. That was
monster. That was monstrous looking.
Dude, that was so perfect. And even when she threw her into the locker, it looked like Io showed that really well. It looked like she went head first into the crate when she got thrown into the crate. And I'm like, oh, Io is. It gives you that sympathy too. Like if you're one of those people that can't connect with Io because of the language barrier, then you're like, oh, this is a sympathetic baby face that I want to come back and retain.
Yeah, I want her to be able to fight through this mountain that they're presenting in front of her, which was way better than the crap that Red Velvet and Jade got put together for their little promo segment. Like, you see the difference of the way, like, you know, we can say whatever we want to about negative booking or bad booking of different characters and stuff like that. But like Io and Raquel are doing a great job in their feud and their lead up to what they're building towards. Way better than them just like, hey, I want you to run over and I want you to kick her in the gut. And then I want you to stand over and say, I'm that bitch. Like out of nowhere. Like out of stupid.
I think I think AEW from TNT gets however many cuss words. Like, you're like, okay, you can say bitch 3 times, you can say I'm that badass 5 times, and bullshit 7 times. And they get it all, and they put it all into 1 hour. Rather than, sharing the wealth.
They're like, we have to use all these words. We have to use everyone. And this is goddamn Wheel of Fortune. We don't want to, go down on one of our words.
That's exactly what it is. And I'm a Jade fan. I am. And I'm like, what is, like, you don't have to keep saying that. Just stand over her. Don't say anything.
Yeah. So what are you, speaking of, is it Jade or Red Velvet? What are your thoughts on the Nightmare Family breakup and this new faction coming along?
I want to talk a little bit more about NXT before we get into the AEW stuff, just because I want to finalize what we have to say about NXT first, because there's still a lot more to be said. Obviously, I like Tyler Breeze coming back, by the way, and I like that they've done this. This is like the second or third time that he's kind of shown up out of the blue. We had not Tyler Breeze, but Tyler Breeze and Fandango come in for that pay-per-view or an NXT. What was it when they came in to do a little tag team cameo spot?
They've been on NXT consistently. So,
but I don't know about consistently.
2 weeks ago, they came back with the Grizzled Young Veterans thing. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But then before that, it had been a couple weeks too. Like they're definitely not consistent. They're definitely still around, I think, completely. And I like that they're using Tyler Breeze in the way that they did. The commentary team sold him like $1 million. They sold him as if he won the championship, right? Like as if he was NXT champion at one time. I thought they did a very good job. I don't like him with the haircut. I think that's a little. My Tyler Breeze is a long, flowing, blonde-haired god. And this almost looked like the teenage Tyler Breeze. Like, I don't know.
I want to say when you said that thing about how great they made Tyler Breeze look on commentary, it's NXT's commentary team is so good. Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix especially. Like Beth Phoenix, like he had a match with a Hall of Famer, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, this guy had a fucking 5-star match with Hooch Thunder Liger at the first takeover.
Yeah.
And
they pull out the important information.
Escobar's money. He's in my top 5.
Yeah. Escobar, very good. He was looking very good. This whole match I thought played out very well. I think when you're going into a pay-per-view, it's always weird to put the champion in a match before that, just especially when it's like because it's a very little consequence, obviously. But like the way that they did it here was like totally fine in my opinion, right? Like I got the win.
It told the story.
Yeah,
it told the story perfectly, and I liked it. I liked the fact that they used Tyler Breeze in the capacity that they used him. He did great. I enjoyed this match itself. It was a nice little clinic that they threw out there, and it gave more heat to Escobar, and it kind of hyped up the match between him and Jordan Devlin next week.
Yeah,
and you build two matches here. You also build the tag team match right afterwards, where you have the young veterans on the screen saying, "Legado."
We're gonna come in there and we're gonna kick your ass. We're gonna show you what for.
Matt, what are your thoughts on Escobar right now? Are you on the Escobar hype train, or am I too far ahead of you right now?
You're definitely far ahead of me, but you're way more knowledgeable about this guy than I am. Like I'm seeing every match that we've seen that I've seen of him thus far leading up to this big pay-per-view match, which is going to be my finalization idea of some of these guys, especially for like Finn Balor's going up against the guy that you guys keep telling me that I should like. Who is it? Who is that guy?
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Krusty Cross. Like you guys keep telling me how good he is, and I'm going to finally see him in this big pay-per-view capacity, and I'm going to have a real opinion of him. Same thing with Santos Escobar. Like a lot of the people that I followed and knew about for NXT stuff was people that were already made names and stuff. Cameron Grimes did a good job this week in a very humorous capacity, and I loved the Grimes system. I loved the Grimes the system. I thought it was a good comedy spot that led to a very good match. Why did Cameron Grimes get the win, do you think? What is your opinion of that?
Elias, you go first.
Well, it told the story on the frustrations with Roderick Strong, because if you caught it, he ended up walking out. So is it that he's going to do another turn, or is he actually getting called up to the main roster? So or getting called up to Raw or SmackDown. So
that'd be weird if he got called up to Raw or SmackDown, right? Like that seems not the right move with him, right? Am I crazy?
He's going to be in that 24/7 combo line if he goes up.
Yeah, right. Like what else are they going to do with him? That'd be a terrible move for him.
Or if this going to be like a little vacation for him, and he'll come back and just start molly-whopping everybody go through the roster, and then eventually get to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly.
I think that they're doing it to build sympathy for Roderick Strong, right? Like he's going to be a babyface because I think that he's going to sell well as a babyface, in my opinion. I think that he's a pretty boy. I think that he's athletic. I think you have to get him to some losses because he was an asshole, right? He punched Cameron Grimes, and Cameron Grimes was like, "Hey, man, I know you're down on your luck right now, and I just want to offer you money, and I want to offer you a massage, and I want to be your tag team partner, and I want to protect you, buddy." And then what did he do? He socked him in the face. Like, not cool. And then he comes out with this badass T-shirt design and a great concept and logo for them building their brand moving forward. And what's he do? He goes and attacks him again. So I think that this is a way to show Roderick Strong's an ass, and then you beat him down, and he takes a couple of losses to help him feel sympathetic and like, man, I want to see him win. And then eventually you do see him win. I think that's what they're doing with him, and I kind of like it. It makes me want to watch what they're doing with Roderick Strong. I'm not Like it makes me more interested in him.
Yeah. Same thing with me. Like they wanted to write him off of TV for a couple of weeks. Maybe they'll have him run in and do something in the main event. I don't think they should. Or not in the main event, but the O'Reilly Cole match. I don't think they should. I think if you're going to go the route of grizzled young veterans winning the title, which I don't think is going to happen, I think MSK's winning him. I would love to see grizzled young veterans like start bullying Cameron Grimes a little bit, and then Roderick Strong come out of nowhere and become his tag team partner. I think that could be a lot of fun. Because Roderick kind of personality. That's the thing. So it would.
He might have a personality hidden somewhere inside there that's just kind of hard to see. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we almost see like what they did with Rhino and Heath Slater. Not the comedy aspect of it, obviously. And like we also see that happen with like I'm trying to think of another couple that they did that to recently.
Team Hell No.
Team Hell No is another good example. Yeah, that's a really good example, actually.
Booker T Goldust.
That's a good example as well. Yeah. You know, WWE does good teams that you don't expect well. I think they do a very good job of that. Oh, Sheamus and Cesaro. That is the bar. Is my favorite. Didn't think that they would work as a tag team. They're my favorite.
Well, and the way that the bar actually started was, you know, they went
series of five
matches, and then
that everybody hated. Just to be very clear, everybody hated that when they first said, like, we're going to put you guys through 5 matches on 5 different pay-per-views, and everyone's like, we don't want this 5 fucking times. And then by the 4th time, you're like, I guess I'll watch at least 2 more. Like it was not. People did not like that.
Sheamus and Cesaro are so underappreciated. Everyone's like, man, a Sheamus match, what the hell? And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, if that went another 5 minutes, I wouldn't care.
Right? You know? Like they definitely they built what they did well, and then to put them together as a team, good job. My
favorite unexpected team is Hurricane and Kane. I love that team.
That wasn't that long though. Did they even win the belts?
Yeah, they won the tag titles.
Did they really? I need to go back and watch me some Hurricane and Kane. I like Kane and X-Pac, but I'm a huge X-Pac mark, obviously.
Kane and
I love the story.
Into these. Kane
is great. Kane and RVD. Yeah, honestly, like Kane almost is not unexpected in unexpected tag teams because he's the glue that holds it all together.
I think my favorite Kane thing was when he spoofed the Hulk Hogan and The Rock. It was like the million of Canaanites out there, and they just walked away, and everybody was just looking like, "What the hell?"
We should do like top 10 Kane gimmicks. We should. That'd be a good list.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame. That's right. We do. That's what we should do for our first special episode. Is we should do top 10 Kane gimmicks. Gimmicks. Everything's a gimmick. My brother has this great line that he told me one time. He looked at me dead in my eyes and he said, "Matthew, a gimmick is a gimmick." And I said, "All right, that makes sense. I got you." And then we talked the whole night about all the gimmicks because everything's a gimmick.
So what was your opinion on the Gauntlet Eliminator battle?
I'm glad that once it started, I totally understood it immediately. just like we said, like I was like, this sounds way too complicated, but I know the moment it starts, I'll be like, oh, okay, this makes total sense. And that's exactly what happened. The moment the match started, I was like, this, I understand completely.
Dude, in the beginning when Wade Barrett's like, this is very simple, and then you see all the words on the screen, and you're like, shit.
I don't want to read that.
Honestly, what they should have said was, this is really simple. Watch. And then just started the match, and everybody would have got it. So I didn't actually when I understood what the match was, I did not like the match when it started. I thought it was kind of dumb. I thought like this is way too gimmicky for its own good. But then once it got down to the final 6, I was like, okay, this is fine. Like it's a way to get other mid-carders involved into things. And then what they did well is they eliminated certain people like Pete Dunne and whatever his name is. I can't think of his name. Yeah, they eliminated them in such a way that built to a match at Stand and Deliver. So I was like, that's great. They sold out Cameron Grimes some more in the match. Like they did a good job with the mid-card talent to build to the last 6. And then the 6 that went out in the order that they went out was good as well. I thought like it's interesting to me the place that Cameron Grimes is in, right? Like it's kind of interesting because he opens the show with a good match, gets the win. and then he is he's going to be third third to last to go into the gauntlet match, which is also an interesting place to be as well. So interesting. Like, they have a lot of story tied up into him and what he's doing. So I don't know. I like what they're doing with Cameron Grimes is all I'm trying to say about that. I love the ending of the match too, with LA Knight going through the ropes and then able to pull off Dexter Lumis. I thought that was a really creative spot to end that match.
Yeah.
I like the Austin Theory stuff too.
Yeah, the Austin Theory stuff was funny.
It was okay. It was okay. Let's come on. If you guys think that the arcade match was dumb at any moment, you cannot think that the Austin Theory stuff was at all funny. You're not allowed to. I'm telling you right now.
The announcers called it dumb. They're like, when he got up and he was like, "What a kip up! That was a great kip up." And Wade Barrett's like, he just eliminated himself. Like,
yeah, Wade Barrett. I liked how Wade Barrett said, "What a meathead."
What a meathead.
Yeah,
but no, I
be a meathead.
I think it was a well thought way to introduce this this match for next week. I enjoyed LA Knight getting the last position. I don't know why, but I honestly thought
Lumis not moving for literally 20 minutes.
It fits to his character, in my opinion. He's always doing odd stuff, so
100% agree.
Like,
why did nobody attack him though? That's my problem with it. I got no problem with him standing still. My problem with it is how, like, no one's like, I'm gonna go. Like, that was a little.
I think they were trying to sell. I think they were trying to sell the fact that he's kind of that intimidating figure, so nobody really wanted to mess with him just yet.
I think it was because everyone else was like embroiled in their own feud, so it looked good because Lumis didn't have a problem with any of these guys, so he's just sitting back.
Lumis is like, you deal with your shit, guys. I'm just gonna
I'll figure this out later.
I don't know.
I'll see you at the end of the match.
Right? That's like the problem that I'm trying to say is like you have guys going out, putting an effort to try and win, right? And then you have him waiting, and it's like I get the intimidating. I think that's actually a pretty good, like, logical reason behind what you're saying. But like, I don't know, it made very odd. It looked good for the first 10 minutes, and then it became weird, in my opinion.
Who do you want to win? Who do you want to win the 6-man, guys?
I think I want LA Knight to win out of the names.
So you want heel and heel at Stand and Deliver?
I'd say Johnny's a heel. I would say he is absolutely now. He's kind of a
either that or the story arc between him and Lumis is going to come to an end at Stand and Deliver. So it's either out of LA Knight or Dexter Lumis that's going to win this match. If somebody else wins it, I would be completely surprised.
If Cameron Grimes winning it. I don't know about him. I think that he's just
over on LA Knight.
He did, but I'm still confused by that because I'm just confused by that booking personally. They did a good job at the end of the match to like make him, because the dude's a lot bigger. He's a lot more strong, right? So like, I don't know. What about Cameron Grimes? Like, what if this is the first push towards something with him? Like, is that going to come too far out of left field for it to feel good?
I don't
you know what I
think
mean?
Feel with Gargano because they're both comedic heels, right? I think
Cameron's not a heel.
Little bit more.
Cameron's not a heel. He's just annoying. He's just annoying. He's not a heel. That is not
Gargano right now, right?
Gargano is more heel though because he does things to protect himself winning.
I think Austin Theory would have been the best call. I don't know why you didn't do that.
That would not have been a good call, in my opinion. I disagree with that.
No, because it would have just been like, all right, you're facing Gargano for the North American Championship, and Gargano's going to tell him lay there, and you're not going to get a good story. Out of it.
We could just do the finger poke of death again. It'd be perfect.
Yes,
wasn't that like 20 years ago?
No, they said this in the promo.
What?
When Austin Theory did his pre-match promo, he said this.
He said finger poke of death?
Yes.
Oh, I need to rewatch that promo. I did watch NXT. I don't watch all the promos. Most of the promos suck.
I'm not gonna lie. I skipped through and just watched the matches.
NXT, I'm definitely way less invested comparatively, and I've said this many times. Like I've apologized to NXT as a thing because I'm hoping that its move to Tuesday has me far more invested in some of the things that they're building. Because the blocks that they're building are not bad blocks. I don't think they're bad at all. Let's talk about AEW. I'm ready now. I'm ready.
Any final thoughts on NXT you guys want to talk about?
I thought it was a very ho-hum show. Ho-hum.
I thought it was a good go home show for Stand and Deliver. They closed any loopholes that they needed for the matches. They added a match, which I'm excited to see. The Cameron, not the Cameron Grimes, but the Kushida versus Pete Dunne.
That should be really good.
That should be really good.
That would be better than him versus Gargano. I bet. I would bet money it will be better because they both wrestle. They both wrestle that much stronger style.
Yeah, and then and I felt like it made that cherry on top for the women's championship match because I'm excited to see this match, especially after seeing Io Shirai go through the wall and then Io Shirai take Raquel Gonzalez out. I'm more excited for this match.
I'm excited to see Indy and Candice win the titles off of Shotzi and the other blonde girl.
I bet you are. They need to give Candice something to do because I'm I'm bored. I'm bored with what they're doing with the way I'm bored with the way. I'll be honest. Like I thought I was gonna love the way. Like when I first got back in NXT and I saw the group and I was like, oh, I love this. And honestly, they've been very boring. They've been very like struggling as like for me personally, for me to care about the group. And I think Candice, honest to God, is one of the reasons why. She seems very pointless. And I love her as a competitor and as a character. So like it annoys me that I feel like they've done nothing with her. So I really do hope they win the championship this week. I
think Candice, like they're putting into that Natalia role that Natalia has on SmackDown where you're the mom of the group, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah. And they have done that because of stupid Austin. The Way is a bad group. Can we agree?
No, you loved their counseling segment a couple of weeks ago.
I loved the first 3 parts of the counseling segment until the last part of it.
I don't think they're a bad group. I just think right now they're booked into a corner.
They're booked weird.
Yeah, they're booked weird. Anyways, getting into AEW, what are your thoughts of Kazarian versus Christian Cage?
Horrible.
I don't know. Okay, I'm confused about. I saw your comment in our group chat, and you say horrible now. I don't understand what you mean by that. There was 2 faults with this match. Okay, fault 1, they were a little sloppy in the beginning. It's been many years for Christian Cage. I'm not going to fault him that heavily on that. And then fault number 2 is the same fault that AEW has as a grand like fault in general, where they try to give 150 every time, no matter what. That was also a fault in my opinion. Okay. I thought this match could have been shorter, and I thought this match could have had a less. I thought they could have made Frankie look less strong in it, and I think it would have been better.
I'm going to give you a couple more thoughts. Elias, tell me what you thought, and then I'll go.
For the most part, being Christian's first match in AEW, I thought it was a decent showing. It wasn't bad. You can tell he still has a little bit of ring rust. So it's like it's only going to get better as time goes. I enjoy Christian's work, so it's one of those things where I can't knock him because of the fact
benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt. So it's like he hasn't been in the ring in so long. Royal Rumble, he wasn't in the ring, has an actual one-on-one match. He was just, spots.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what's next from Christian Cage.
So my main gripe with this is what's Christian's gimmick right now, Matt? It's outwork everyone, right?
Outwork everyone.
You got outworked that whole match, bro.
He did not get outworked the whole match. He countered into the kill switch to win.
Kazarian did the high spots. Kazarian did the false finishes.
He didn't do all of them.
He outworked Christian that match.
But here's the thing. You can't expect Christian just to go 100%.
I completely agree. That's why I don't.
Wait. You say that Kazarian outworked Christian, right?
Yes.
Who won the match?
Christian won the match.
Who won the match? Because
did Goldberg outwork Bret Hart when he won the match?
Did he win the match?
Yes, but no one's gonna say.
Hold on.
I just want to put this out there. This is the first time I'm actually saying something positive about AEW, and you got Moise, the anti person in this situation. So I'm just gonna sit here and watch. I'm gonna get my imaginary popcorn and watch this right quick.
Hold on. his point is that he's going to outwork everyone. He's going to win. He's going to outwork and he's going to last longer than what you're capable of doing so that he can get the win in the end. Like, that's a form of work, right? But as being marks and being smarks, like, the word work means a lot of different things to us, right? It means so many different things. And like, the fact that like he won the match at the end of the day means that he legitimately outworked Frankie Kazarian.
You know, Matt, I will give you that. I did watch it right after the whole Pete Dunne thing. He wants the most technical wrestler, so I thought of work as the technical in-ring style. So I'll give you that. But you didn't have to tease the whole time limit draw the whole match, you know? Like,
I thought yes.
Like,
yes, I
you
agree.
could have easily made this a solid 8-minute match where both guys look good.
Like I said, I think that they gave Frankie too much. I think they gave him way too much. And that's honestly, that's been my biggest problem with every AEW opener for, I want to say, the last like at least 2 months. The opening match has been 10 to 12 minutes too long every week for I don't even know how long now. Like, I'm ready for a little bit more of like, even if it doesn't have to be a squash match, honestly, but I do want something that's more than just watch these two guys go at 150% and hope neither of them hurt each other.
What happened to promos opening shows? Give me that.
Well, they don't want to go think about it.
I never thought I missed promos. Opening shows.
Like WWE does promos, so they're trying to not fall into the same thing.
Do the thing you did with MJF and Chris Jericho when they first started. Both of them arriving in a limo. You know, you could.
I would like to. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen something like that, or like them in the. You could have shown Christian like in the gym getting ready. You could have shown Frankie trying to prep himself and prepare, like anything that kind of kills the monotony of just like, and coming to the ring right now, ready to outwork everybody as they out themselves. Like
it'd be so cool if you opened with another match and then right after that match, you showed Christian walking towards ringside, you know, stretching or whatever. And you're like, Christian having his first match in 7 years and then go to commercial break.
The match itself was a decent match. It was nothing extravagant. I do see on Bleacher Report, they gave it an A, which I think is a definite. It's too high, especially because
it's owned by Turner. Bleacher Report's owned by Turner.
They gave Cameron Grimes and Roderick a B minus. So I would flip those grades. I would flip those grades around. I would give the Cameron Grimes and Roderick Strong match an A because it was so much more unexpected and it was a very well worked match that had story from the beginning of it.
One match owned by TNT.
Stop! I don't care about that. I'm just going to comment on the grades. I don't care about the backstory of the grades. So I'm just saying that I just think the kill switch is the greatest move of all time. And yep, you know what? I changed my opinion. It's an
A. So, all right, go back to my question earlier. What did you think of QT's heel turn and this new group faction building?
I don't know, actually, because QT Marshall is somebody that I've only recently become knowledgeable of, like through AEW and the Nightmare Family stuff.
Yeah.
I think that they screwed up one part of the story of it. Like, this didn't feel like it came out of left field. So what happened was the very first time we saw him start to turn his coat and his colors was during the tag team royale where he jumped out of the ring. And it's like, you can chalk that up to frustration. You can chalk that up to a few things. And I thought you could have been fine with it, but then he didn't come into the ring to save, was it Dustin or Cody when they were getting beat up? He like showed up super late.
And there was a thing with Lee Johnson where Lee Johnson didn't thank him and you could kind of see that thing on his face.
Yeah. I think there was too many of those moments. This was far too foreshadowed. Like, it's fine. It's fine to know that it's going to happen. That's not what I'm complaining about at all. Because most things in wrestling we like are things we already know that's going to happen, right? Like, you don't have to be shocking to be good. And for me, this QT Marshall, too foreshadowed. Had there been like one or two less of those, the impact of the punch to Arn Anderson would have been way more impactful. Even I think they screwed it up during the match itself, because when Dustin tried to like pat him on the back and QT's first reaction to him was to smack his hands away and get all butthurt. I thought that ruined the impact of the Arn Anderson punch, which you needed them to be friends. You needed Cody and QT to be nice to each other in this match to make you believe that this was supposed to be something between the two of them as friends.
It would have been
Too
cool
much-
if QT teased the Paul driver, but he stopped because Cody stopped at Crossroads. You know,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you believed for a minute that this was like, okay, this really is just like them. Like maybe they're going to break them up later, but this is, or after the match, right? Like then you're like, okay, that's expected after the match, blah, blah, blah. But like there was even too much foreshadowing in the match itself that caused that frustration.
One other thing, commentary did a great job putting over a Go-Go, the boxer. They did a great job putting him over. But my thing is, after this is all over, and this is a question for both of y'all, Elias, more so you because you watch Elevation and Dark. Do you see any of these guys on QT's team on TV regularly? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't neither. I think that
this is a really
it's an unneeded faction.
This is a really low card.
Yeah, it's
that they're building.
I would have understood if like Dustin would have turned. You know, that would have been a shocker, like because his own brother,
or Lee Johnson,
or even
after what he said,
or Lee Johnson, like that those are people that are getting significant TV time, something of importance. Aaron Solo, nobody really knows who Aaron Solo is. Everybody knows him as Bailey's ex-boyfriend or ex-fiance.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. The other guys
broke up for me.
I don't know any of these people.
The other guy, the big swole guy with the fro. I'm like, I don't know who he is still.
I don't know any of these people so much that the guy that was big swole with the fro, I assumed that must have been the boxer. until they got in the ring and he did the punch against Cody's ribs, and he's like, that's the bronze glove Olympic medalist, the guy right there. And I was like, oh, so who's the other dude? Who are these people?
I think Ogogo could actually be a future star, but not with these guys around him.
It's a weird team that they built.
It's a weird team.
QT's not a star.
I'm not invested in this. Like,
who is their anchor?
Nobody.
Right? Like QT Marshall is the anchor of this team. They put QT Marshall in the same position that Chris Jericho is in. They put QT Marshall that MJF is in. I think they're trying. So this storyline, I know. I remember reading something about this storyline. I think there's something that Harley Race did back in the day. A storyline that Harley Race did back in the day with one of his proteges that supposedly the protege turned on him and made him a star. So I'm guessing this program with Cody is going to try to elevate a little more QT into that. You have to have a little more star power than what QT has.
Dude, even if you would have done both of Billy Gunn's kids, I would have been like, all right, at least we see them every week in the audience, you know? But I haven't seen Aaron or Ogogo or any of these guys.
It's amazing how much the one son of Cody's looks like his physique, and the other son of Cody or of Billy's has his exact face. Like his sons look exactly like him. It's crazy to look at them.
Would you be okay with Billy Gunn being the anchor?
No, because Billy, I would like it because I'm an attitude guy. I like Billy Gunn, blah blah blah, and honestly, that's who they need to appeal to, right? Is us old school fans a little bit with like a Billy Gunn type thing. The problem with it is they haven't sold Billy Gunn enough. They've sold QT Marshall pretty damn bad, but they've sold Billy Gunn even worse, right? So it's like it's like I don't know about that. John Moxley versus Cesaro Caesar Bonani. I don't know how to pronounce that. Bonani, is that right?
I really want to see Bonini succeed.
Bononi.
Yeah, he posted a story. Get your
better match than I expected.
Get your Kleenexes ready. His wife needs a kidney donor in Brazil. Yeah, so he posted a story, and Drake Maverick reached out to him on DM or on a message saying DM me, and so I think they're figuring something out. But I think you could. Dude, I hate saying this because sometimes I'm against it. I think you need to bring those aspects in and get it behind guys like this that are young that you can make a sympathetic figure.
Not if you're going to make them lose. Like,
no, I agree.
Not against John Moxley. Honestly, though, the match versus John Moxley was far better than I expected. Like,
it was a squash match, but it wasn't. He didn't have a bad showing.
I would not call that a squash match. The outcome was squash, obviously, but the match itself was not. And I mean, obviously, he had a little bit of an uphill battle. The Hollywood Hunk came in a few times and kind of messed, was doing this stuff on the outside. And JD Drake who I'm sorry, they called him something badass at one point. I was like, that's not what I think a badass looks like, but okay, whatever you want to give nicknames around here for.
The bulky
I guess
badass or something. Yeah, I remember.
it was a weird nickname. Like the Hollywood hunk is bad, but whatever they called JD Drake was even weirder. But the match itself I thought was competitive enough to keep John Moxley important, right? Because like they did that with Paige, where they dropped him down the card for some weird reason. John Moxley wrestling kind of a weird match against this guy out of what feels like left field. I thought it was a decent enough match. I thought it was an okay match.
So I want to get into my favorite segment of the night.
Okay.
The return of the Inner Circle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm about to crap all over this. Okay, go.
Crap all over it. I want to hear the crapping. I want to hear it because it's so rare that we hear Elias enjoy something on AEW. I want to hear that part first.
I think it was the way that it was presented was good. I enjoyed, MJF talking to the mess, opening the restroom, and just closing the door after seeing most of the Inner Circle in there and saying, "We gotta go," and then Hager just coming out of left field and just knocking him down, and then that's the brawl started. I enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed seeing MJF go into the refrigerator,
Pepsi?
the Pepsi refrigerator, and then Jericho told him that it's only going to get worse. So I thought it was a good way to bring back the Inner Circle, in a sense, and make them look dominant after getting their asses beat. I think it was.
I want to say my opinion before you say your opinion, Moise.
Okay, go.
Okay, so what I wanted to say is I actually don't like this old school style of booking that AEW has fallen into multiple times, and we've seen it happen. We saw it happen with the Inner Circle when they were going up against the Elite Squad. The Young Bucks Elite Squad stuff. And then we also saw it happen when it was Team Taz versus Sting and Darby. I do not like the 50-50 booking of the promo attacks. And I don't like that it started with MJF getting the heat and attacking Chris Jericho. And then it did take 2 weeks. So I guess good on them for holding it in for a week. But the second week, and then they immediately get their comeuppance is way too quick. Like that's the problem. That's the problem. I don't hate it, but it's the problem with the story.
Yes.
Right?
Why are you fast forward booking this? This should have been held off until 2 or 3
They don't
weeks
even have a pay-per-view coming up, right? Like
your next pay-per-view is, I believe, end of April or beginning of May. This should have been held off to 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, a little bit. Or they should have been much smaller in scale for their like revenge, or like smaller in scale in the way that they were trying to like get back. Like you have a locker room that looks like garbage. Let's be honest. Like they should have like done something to make that place look like people actually wanted to sit in it.
Designer, Matt.
Anyways, but my point is they should have had the a part of this plot for this build of this story is that they're trying to get their locker room back, and around every corner MJF is doing something to stop them. Because here's the thing is if you end it now, MJF and the tag team that's with him, probably not Warlow. Yeah, the Arrival and MJF look bad. This is going to hurt them long term. If they end this feud too quickly, they're the ones that get hurt by this feud.
Yeah, because I mean I agree. I like the segment, but I do wish it would have been further down the line when they did this. I wish there would have been.
That's my main gripe. That's my main gripe. If this was 3-4 weeks down the line, let the Pinnacle beat up some jobbers. Even if you did like what the Revival do it on Elevation, and Wardlow and MJF and Spears do it on Dark, and then for a couple of weeks, even, and you're like, these guys have been undefeated since they came together.
I still don't. Side comment: I still don't get why they call it. They promoted Elevation as rising stars, and we don't see nothing but the regulars on there. But that's just...
that's another topic, because I have a weird gripe personally also with them even doing 3 shows the way that they're doing them. I don't know what they're aiming. I don't know. It's because they want to figure out a way to get on more screens and give more. Anyways. Okay, Lucha Brothers, Kenny Omega, Lucha Brothers, and Laredo Kid.
We called this match last week, though. We said exactly what would happen. Good match, Laredo Kid.
We did.
Yep. And I don't honestly have anything else to say about it at all.
I am getting uninvested with this Young Bucks and stuff.
Okay,
but,
then
great.
I was gonna. Okay,
No. But that's the thing.
You don't think
That
there's
comes
any
from-
excitement there? You don't have any excitement seeing the Young Bucks team up with John Moxley. You're a little crazy in that. Like that's okay. Come on, like you have a team of best friends who are breaking at the seams, and Kenny turning into an ultimate heel, and the Young Bucks who are trying to figure out what it is that they even want to do, and they team up with a heated rival, somebody that they've beat up on themselves. You're crazy. You're crazy, Elias. You're crazy.
It's crazy, but this
This
comes
is the
from
only
the
thing I'm excited
person
about
who's
in this program.
that it comes from the person who really is invested in Bullet Club. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But you, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. But you love the Bullet Club. But you also hate AEW. Therefore, anything that they do that is related to Bullet Club nowadays, I will
go on record and say I never said I hated AEW.
Agreed, but you
I
definitely
dislike some of the stuff. I will admit I said I dislike stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And I gripe about it a lot.
Yeah.
But to say I hate AEW, that's a far reach.
That's an exaggeration. Agreed.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what's next. Are they going to turn on Kenny Omega on John Moxley next week, or
no?
This
is what we're getting. This is what this feud. This is going to be a long-term feud.
This is going to go. I told you, dude. This is going to go almost 6 years to a month, or six months to a year, and it's going to be the code.
I would agree on 6 years.
Bruno type title reign incoming for Kenny Omega.
It's going to be Coda. Once Omega loses to Coda, that's when he'll turn face and realize Callis is an asshole.
Wait, he's going to turn. Wait, who's he going to lose the title to?
Dakota. Once he loses the title versus title, Dakota Ibushi is when he's gonna. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Why do they keep calling him a god? They're building towards.
What
Dakota
are you talking about? He's not.
He's future booking right now.
That's way too futureful. Like that is not what they're looking for.
We still gotta wait. We still gotta wait and see what. We still gotta wait and see what he does with the Impact stuff.
You're crazy,
and that is being long and drawn out.
Like, you're crazy. You're like I love the future booking in 10 years future for over here for Moyes, but like you don't even know what COVID is actually going to allow them to do travel wise for any sort of future planning at all.
I don't think anyone cares anymore. Like I think once you're vaccinated, you're like I don't care.
Well, it doesn't matter if you care or not if there's rules, federal rules in countries.
Here's
the interesting part. I did hear an interview that Kota Ibushi did, and when they said that when they unified the IWGP Intercontinental and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, that he did want to go to defend it outside of Japan. So the possibility of that match happen is there, but that I don't know if New Japan is going to want.
I will say this. Who else are they going to have Kenny lose to right now? I don't know.
It can't be Hangman yet. It can't be Hangman for at least a year.
It has to be a little longer because he has to work his way up out of that fucking mid card. They fucked him. They fucked him good.
Yeah, John Silver's more over than you right now. Sorry, I love you, but it's true.
Disagree with that.
In that group, you're not telling me John Silver's more over than Hangman?
No, he's not.
In the Dark Order?
You are absolutely crazy if you think Hangman Page is less over than John Silver.
In a separate one-on-one bout, yes, but he is now part of the Dark Order.
So he is the most over.
No, he's not. Elias is more over.
Elias.
No, I'll agree with Matt on this one. The hype over getting Hangman to join the Dark Order.
John Silver over, way different than Hangman over. Hangman over is legitimate over because of who Hangman is. John Silver's over is I like to see the underdog, and he's very
Cassidy over. It's the Orange Cassidy over.
Orange Cassidy is more over than John Silver.
No. I'm saying it's the same type of over.
No, the type of the way that he's over is that
And I
type
think
of
John,
popularity.
I think Orange Cassidy has a better amount of over, like more carrying over than I think more.
A lot of people jumped off that Orange Cassidy bandwagon after Jericho stuff.
I think more people no, I disagree. After he won the third match, they booked Orange Cassidy in a way that allows him to do things that are more legitimate. I disagree with you a lot. I think that Chris Jericho.
I agree with Matt. Orange
That doesn't happen.
Cassidy did get more popular after the Jericho feud, and his title shot against Darby Allin was pretty good too.
Yeah,
I
so take that, boys.
Okay,
take that, boys.
Either way, what we're saying is, who else is Omega going to lose to, right?
Agreed.
Because I don't know what's going on with the Kingston injury. So, and I don't think he was going to.
Is that legit? Yeah, what happened? Did he legit get hurt during that match?
I don't know. He did a really good seller, or he really got hurt. But my thing is, Kingston wasn't going to go over. He was going to be that. He was going to be the foil to the next guy.
He probably wouldn't have gone over, but I still want to see it. I still want to see that match.
Yeah, so I do too. It's the same
Akira Shida and Tai Kate versus the Bunny and Nyla Rose. The Bunny did a good job, right? Like I don't know who this person is. You guys know her already, right?
I am glad that she got some TV time in actual wrestle. Allie is a really good wrestler.
How the hell is Tay Conti your number one contender and you just had her beat Nyla and lose again?
Well, a tag team match doesn't count towards that, obviously. And there's a bunch of people on the outside. Sort of, but not the singles record, obviously. I think it's weirder that Tay Conti is the number one contender and she's only wrestled. I mean, she won the thing. That's right. Okay, never mind. But that's right. They didn't even have a championship match on their pay-per-view. They had a number one contender match. Fucking stupid. God. Oh man, the weird ass, stupid ass booking for AEW's women division.
I think Britt Baker and Tay Conti need to start a feud. I think that you need to get Tay Conti away from this title.
Much better promo by Britt Baker when they do the scripted ones like that, where I'm sure they took like one or two takes to get it perfect. But damn, was that a good promo? Very, very good.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
Good. The Too Cold Scorpio and what's his name? Ego Trip
tag team. Yeah.
Ego Trip. That was a pretty bad promo. Actually, what they said was okay, but their snap and the lights went off, and they stayed on the scene. Just the lights went off was pretty dumb because then you have to realize that they're sitting in the dark next to each other after they snap their fingers. Like you don't turn the lights off. You end the scene. They're just sitting there together in darkness.
I want to screen. So. Everyone that followed Ethan Page from Impact and Miro from WWE was like, oh, these guys are going to AEW. They're going to get great shots. And people crapped on the whole Miro debut onwards. And now
Miro. What are you talking about?
Ethan Page left from one tag team to go to another tag team left. I thought this is where he's going to explode onto the scene.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have gone on a singles run first before they put him on a tag team.
I think it's a pretty weird tag team too. I think that this is.
you like the whole Miro best man stuff, Matt?
I do. I have enjoyed all of but I said this in our group chat, and let's get into it because I think we're there now. Yeah, let's get into it. Or the arcade archery anarchy. Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian and Miro. I like the best man stuff, but to be honest, the only person that this entire feud has hurt, the only person this whole thing has hurt is Kip Sabian. He is the only person
I agree.
that has been damaged by this feud. He's the only one that looks weak in this feud. He's the only one that this feud hurt. All the other guys look fine on the other end of this feud, which the feud's not over yet because we just got a new wrinkle with Trent showing up in his mom's car.
And Chris Statlander.
And Chris Statlander, which I guess there's going to be another new added members. I don't understand some of the ending parts of this match. I'll be honest. This match was overbooked towards the end.
I was okay with Trent coming back because I figured they're going to try to figure out a way to put him back. What the thing that surprised me the most was the Chris Statlander coming out the little arm claw machine. That
fucking throw of the glass. that hit Penelope so hard, I thought her nose was gonna explode. I thought it was because that was hard.
And I actually liked how Chris Statlander put her through that air hockey table.
Yeah, that was a much better looking bump than the week before with the 2 weeks before with the woman's no disqualification unsanctioned match. That was a better looking bump.
And she got better at doing it because the couple like before, I felt for some of her opponents when she did it because the way that she landed with them was kind of rough looking in a sense.
Ouchie.
Yeah, ouchie.
Not
ouchie
good
moment.
guy Elias, always caring about the talent getting hurt, you know?
Always just Big Papa Elias. I'm just glad Sting didn't fall over to this week.
I did like the Darby and Sting stuff, actually. I'm kind of excited for Matt Hardy and Darby if that's the way they're going to go.
I thought it was a weird promo. Like I liked it too, and it was something that was fun. It was I liked it, but it came out of left field, right? Because like they haven't done anything to say that Big Money Matt and Darby are going to do anything. They haven't even done a good job of showing Matt Hardy wanting to be an active wrestler as much as he cares about his brand stuff.
Being a manager, yeah.
Right? So like it's weird that he's the one that they're prodding him. Like they're the ones poking the bear when like isn't it supposed to be Matt Hardy poking the bear technically, right? Like he should be the one that's like, you need to give me a big money match title match because I'm Big Money Matt Hardy and I big money.
Also, first quarter is now over, so Matt Hardy gets all his earnings now.
That was dumb.
Well, the Dark Order spent all his money, so
that they fucked that up. Me and you, us three, we booked that so much better with like broke ass Matt Hardy, like for a little while, and like man, we did such a better job with that gimmick pool than they did. Like,
like having Rebby yell at him.
We should. I'm gonna write Tony again. Hold on. Time to pull up the Twitter. Should I only do Tony or should I do Matt Hardy as well? At Tony Khan. How do you spell it? Tony K. Tony Khan. Gotcha. And at what is it? Is it Matt Hardy brand?
Yeah,
Matt Hardy
brand. Okay. I just want to point out that me and my buddies over at do we have an account on Twitter at Weekly Wrestling Heat had some great ideas about how to book the last angle you did with Paige, but instead it was not done all that well. If you need some advice, we will not charge. We will not charge us up. I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. There's the Matt Weekly tweet of the week.
All right. So, overall thoughts of this week's AEW.
Oh, I thought it was also a no hum show that I enjoyed a little bit better. And I only say that to watch Elias's head turn. No, I'm kidding. This show, two things happened that I appreciate, and I know you did too, Elias. They did not once bring up NXT moving to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which I know that you appreciated.
I'm waiting for BTE.
That's different. That's different. That's a show that's meant to break fourth walls and stuff like that. Like that's kind of their thing. So that makes sense. Anyways, this show was a very consistent show, which is what I liked about it. It was very consistent from the start.
Wasn't this a pre-tape show?
I actually don't know.
I think this was a pre-tape show, so yeah. I think we'll see something about NXT moving to Tuesday next week.
Interesting. We'll see. You want to bet on it?
No, not really.
Do you want to bet on it?
I'll make a fun wager.
What's your wager?
NXT has higher viewership than AEW next week.
What are we betting? We got to bet something fun.
First
Tattoo. Let's bet
it in fantasy.
No, because we have other people involved in that. No, I have an idea. Let's whoever wins has to. So if you win, I go to the store and I go to the tattoo aisle at Walmart or wherever, and I send you all the tattoos I can find. And whichever one you pick, I will put the tattoo right on my bicep for the girls to see with the guns.
But I'm hairy, so that won't work.
No, it's gonna be even better for you because then when it comes off, it's gonna like hurt. So I like this idea.
No, that's lame.
I needed
This is a
waxing.
great idea. This is a great idea. If we don't come up with it right now, boys, we're not gonna do it.
Okay. If NXT has higher viewership, me and you will do a 24-hour episode of Weekly
Oh
Wrestling.
my god, you're so terrible. You don't even. I guess there's not gonna be a bet, but we'll just do a
Matt,
handshake.
are you gonna be in with our prediction episode Tuesday or no?
Probably not.
Okay. Do you want to send in your predictions and we'll let the audience know what it is?
For what? For takeover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not predicting takeover.
Okay.
I'll look at the big
Alright, so-
matches and maybe I'll do like one or two, but I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't follow it. I don't follow it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. All right, so here's
Don't judge me. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, just don't judge me. I'm sorry.
So here's a quick update on next week's schedule. So me and Moise will be on next Tuesday night at 8:00 p.m. CST. Predictions for NXT Takeover Stand Delivered Night 1 and 2. We'll be back on next Friday at 7:30.
Yeah.
p.m. Central for a recap show of both AEW and NXT Takeover Night
We'll
1 and
probably
2.
focus more on the NXT Night 1 and 2. Honestly, like I
Yeah.
don't, unless there's something big like a main event that matters that happens on AEW because they didn't even sell all that much into next week, other than
The
like
Moxley and Young Bucks match. Yeah.
yeah, but we know what's going to happen with that match too. I bet we can, let's call that match. Let's predict it real quick. What do you think is going to happen?
No contest.
I think it's going to be DQ as well.
Yeah.
I think-
And then
I
we'll
was
be
gonna
back
guess that.
on. We will be back on Monday night. Is it Monday?
Monday night. Yeah,
Monday night, yeah. Monday night.
No, not Monday night. Not Monday night. No, it's going to be
Tuesday.
because I can't do Mondays. It's going to be the 13th and then the 15th. So we're going to do. You guys are going to come in on. Did you say the 6th on Tuesday? Then we're going to do Friday together. Then we're going to do the 13th together, and then we're going to do the 6th, the 15th together back on Thursday.
Hey, you guys know the 13th NXT will be live.
Damn.
Damn.
We got to do something for Mania though right away.
We do.
We'll talk off the air.
We'll talk. Anyways, look at us for Tuesday or Sunday after WrestleMania. Either
Okay.
or. So that's that. That's the end of the show. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Follow us on our Weekly Wrestling Heat Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Weekly Wrestling Heat TV. Follow us on Instagram at Weekly Wrestling Heat. And we will be back again with another episode. WrestleMania week is upon us. You're going to see more of us. So from me, Matt, and Boyce,
WrestleMania.
we are officially out. Everybody, peace out. Peace.
Bye.
Goodbye.